Hey there, it's Anne, and I have a confession for you today. And that is that last night a friend of mine had to remind me to meditate. And if you've just found this video and you don't know me, this may be like, yeah, so what, right? But I'm a teacher of meditation, and I've been meditating since I was 18, over 20 years now. So for me to need to be reminded is interesting. And I share this with you because I just want to make it accessible for people, because a lot of people think they don't know how to meditate, that they have to be perfect, you know, in this picture of spiritual perfection, and this is what it should look like if you're a spiritual person. And just to say that I forget sometimes, and I, like all of you, get swept away by life sometimes. And in this case, it was good stuff. It was me being really, really inspired for 2 nights in a row. And I get up at 5:30 a.m. with my 2.5-year-old. So putting this in context, I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning 2 nights, the night before last, and then last night I was up till midnight, which, you know, when you get up at 5:30, that's way, way too late. So I texted my friend and I was like, please, you know, can you send some healing energy my way? Can you send me a hello? Like, I could just use a little support in getting to sleep. And she's like, maybe try to meditate. I was like, oh my God, because she does the same work as I do. So it's like, it's obvious to anybody who's not in the middle of it, but when you're in your own life, and whether it's creative inspiration or whether it's a reaction, sometimes it's, you know, with my husband and I, you know, it's like, we react to each other, we trigger each other, and we're human, you know? So in that case, or my daughter might trigger me, or, you know, there's lots of things that can trigger me. So meditation comes in really handy. The trick is, and I do meditate in the morning every day, and I had meditated yesterday morning, but by nighttime I was like, I probably could have done it again, right? And I forgot. The trick is, can you meditate before you get triggered? Can you meditate? Can you have a regular practice of meditation so that it becomes natural to do, ideally ahead of getting triggered, or before you get swept away, before you get so caught up in life? But also, you know, once you get caught up in it, to remember to come back. And in this case, it was my friend who helped me get back. And that's good too, having a community to help you get back. So I can share with you before I meditated and after I meditate. I mean, in my life, or even on a daily basis, like, you know, on a day I haven't meditated yet, and I try to meditate, and I usually meditate in the morning before I do many activities. But if I don't get to it, I am more reactive. I do get more upset, like if I spill a cup of tea, or my daughter has a poopy diaper she's pulling off before I can get to it, you know, things like that that are annoying, or, you know, they're irritating. If I've meditated, I'm just like, oh, you have a diaper. Oh, okay. You know, my husband has a, you know, reaction to me, and I'm just like, sweetheart, did you realize that blah, blah, blah? And I just cool, calm, and collected, right? And it neutralizes the energy. So I find that my meditation saves me time. I mean, certainly last night, once I meditated and I got myself grounded and back, you know, focused in my body and feeling how tired I was, saved me a lot of time of sleepless nights. I wanted to make this video for you yesterday, and I was too exhausted from the night at 1 a.m. before that I'd gone to bed. So here I am sharing with you that we're all human. And so this is why meditation is such an important practice. It can help us ground. It can help us release energy that's not ours. It can help us become more calm in our relationships, more calm in the face of life's activities. And you can imagine that saves time. And I say this because a lot of people say they don't have time to meditate. And it's like, well, if you don't meditate, life is a lot harder and things take more time, and things that don't need to take your time will take your time, because you'll be trying to solve problems that aren't yours. You'll be more on edge. And when you meditate, and by the way, when I say meditate, I don't mean just sit there and stare at the belly button, and I don't mean all your thoughts stop. I have a certain kind of technique that I teach when I meditate, and there's lots of ways to do it, by the way. But simply having a practice, and this is what it comes down to really, is having some practice. So if you are a spiritual person, even if you're not, but let's say you're somebody who's read some spiritual books, or somebody who's gone to counselors, healers, teachers, you've gone to psychics, and you've maybe even personally had some great insights and ahas, and then you go into your life and you're like, why doesn't my life match that I understood in the book, that made so much sense to me, or that this healer told me? Why can't I do what I'm supposed to do? Or why can't I trust my own instincts and my own guidance in life? Why do I keep getting pulled into these sort of certain types of relationships, perhaps? Or why can't I get out of this dead-end job and get into a career that I love, or start my own business, or do my creative, my creative pursuits for a living, or even as a hobby. Why can't I make space for that? So meditation can help with all of that, because the other thing, besides clearing energy that's not yours, it will also bring your energy in and remind you of yourself. It'll rejuvenate you and refill you. And the meditations I teach will actually bring your energy back. There's a specific technique I teach, bringing your energy back from other people, other places, the future, and the past. And on that note, another confession. My excitement the last couple days has been about this retreat that I'm creating this fall. And as I've been, in the creative process with this retreat, and some students of mine asked me to lead it. So I was like, and I had been thinking about leading a retreat, but now that I've been asked, there's all this energy. It's not just me, it's all the other students and people that are now interested, that are like, okay, when are you going to have the details about the retreat? So there's this co-creative thing that's happening on an energetic level, where all these people are creating the retreat energetically. And so one thing that I've noticed, and I'm usually fairly grounded, and I don't do this a lot. Unfortunately, when I do the thing I'm about to tell you about, I know that I'm doing it. That's the key. But I've been actually going off to the location, and I'm going to announce the location soon, so it's secret right now. But my energy, not my body has been doing the dishes or doing the laundry, or being with my daughter, or whatever I'm doing. The other night I was in the bathtub and I was journaling and planning out the retreat, but energetically I was not in the bathtub. I was over there at the retreat site, and I was in the field in the future of this retreat. And as I was journaling, I was writing down, the workshop topics, and when we're going to do yoga, and when we're going to go on a hike, and what are the meals going to be, and when are we going to have free time, and what are the different options for what we might do, and maybe take a field trip. And so I was there. And the other morning I did the same thing, and I was doing dishes and doing laundry and making my breakfast, and I thought maybe 20 minutes had passed, and before I knew it, it was like 2 hours just went by. And I just didn't know where the time had gone. I was like about to get in the shower, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's time to call my client. And 2 hours just went by. And how did that happen? Because I was off in the future, in this field, in this other location. And I share this 2 reasons. One, to say I'm human. 2, actually 3 reasons, to share plant a little seed about the retreat, because I'm really excited. And the 3rd reason is to say that maybe you relate to this. I know before I learned this meditation that I teach, I would do this. I would do this a lot with guys I was interested in, or guys I was dating when I was single. And sometimes I still do it. If I'm like, where's my husband? He's not home. I'll go, feel into but more often I look, and this is getting into a little advanced, more psychic concepts, but I look clairvoyantly. Do I picture him somewhere? Is he safe? Is he, on the way or not? So we can do that, but we can also energetically go to other people. We can put our energy into other places and into the future. And it's kind of fun, and it's really cool that we can do that. And it does build this, field, as I'm saying. But also, it's important also to fulfill our daily agreements and be on time and be present with the people that we're actually with and in the activities we're actually doing. So it's good to have techniques. So this is all just some ideas of what meditation can do for you. There's a lot of spiritual practices. My husband does Buddhist chanting. Some people do devotional singing in the Bhakti yoga tradition. There's this kirtan singing where it's all about opening the heart. There's a lot of different kinds of meditation. There's following your breath, or just looking at a blank wall, anything from that to, a lot of visualizations and active meditations. And I do more active meditations personally. As I said, grounding, energy clearing, replenishing, tuning in for guidance. And this is what I teach in my Meditation 101 class, and moving from there into my other Awaken Your Intuition programs. I want to say too that it's really important, whatever practice you choose, that you have some practice and that you create space for it, because it's that regularity. Even though I had to be reminded last night, it's still the regularity that, at least if I had forgotten last night and my friend hadn't texted me to remind me, I still would have meditated this morning, and I would have gotten back on track, because that's my routine and that's on my calendar and that's non-negotiable. So if you would like to start to translate those spiritual ahas, that wonderful guidance, that insight that you've received but you don't know how to bring it into your life and change your relationship, job, money, and so on, start with some practice. Even if it's 5 minutes a day, that's better than 15 minutes every 3 days, believe it or not, because it's that regularity, that habit, that then when you get into a moment of stress, you click into the habit, you click into the thing you do regularly more so than you click into a thing that you do once a week. So those are a few tips on bringing your spirituality into daily life, and a little sharing from me. I'll also say that in my classes, the students, not only do they get the regularity, the practice that they're, first of all, learning techniques, they're getting the regular commitment. It's on their calendar. They're required to show up. And you can miss a class, but you're held accountable. This is you committed to this class. And the other thing is the community of other people. Just like I had my friend the other night, y'all will have each other if you decide to take a class, and that also helps the momentum build. And there's a Facebook group where you can connect on Facebook as well. So if you're curious to learn more, you can go to floweringsoul.com, click on Learn Meditation. You can also look at the different Awaken Your Intuition programs if you're curious to go even further. I have Awaken Your Clairvoyance coming up. If you're watching this, July 2015, so coming up soon, along with the Meditation 101, which I offer several times a year. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful day.